something really interesting to share regarding the markets at the moment. So I've gone back to 1987 and shown you periods numbered 1 right up to 9, over which the markets were going through a certain degree of similarity. So period 1, it was a period of certain commonality of macroeconomics and so on. Then you can see the acceleration. Now, most of this is done in hindsight, because when you're going through it, you don't know if you're changing from one kind of circumstance of the market to another. However, there is a clue, which I'll tell you, an advanced indicator, which I'll tell you in a second. Number 3, when we get the dot-com crash, and that's clearly distinct from period 2, where we've got the run-up and the dot-com boom and so on. Number 4 is the run-up to the financial crisis, and then you've got the financial crisis at 5, which is clearly distinct from the economic circumstances of number 4. And how can you tell economic circumstances? Well, you could look at broader macroeconomic conditions, but most probably what you would actually look at is just actually the consistency of the movements of the S&P 500 as a clue that it is reflecting the broader economic environment. So number 6, you've got from 2009 right up until, I'm estimating, about 2018, and then you get, it gets a bit less clear. You get this fall in 2019, you've got that growth period afterwards at slight acceleration, then you've got the drop during COVID, which technically I should mark as a separate period, and then 9, which is post-COVID up till now. So have we finished? Is 9 continuing, in which case that strong upward move continues, or have we moved into a new period? What is the clue? The clue tends to be this. What I've drawn, for any given period, you look at the trend line for that, the average for that period, and then you draw 2 standard deviations around it. Statistically, if something is still within that economic environment, it'll remain within 2 standard deviations of its average for that period. If it moves out of it, as it has done now, there's a probability, but not a certainty, that we're in a new economic scenario. Does that mean the markets will continue falling? Does that mean that we're going to get a bear market? Does it mean we've got a recession? No, it doesn't necessarily mean any of those things, and nothing's necessarily guaranteed. There's an increased probability that we have moved into a new environment. So what did those transitions look like in the past? Well, there were periods when they led to an acceleration. I don't think we're in that period. Or the declines became more pronounced for a number of years, as you can see in period number 3. And you can see in period number 5 as well. And you can see the one between 7 and 8 was actually relatively short. The one between 8 and 9 was relatively short. Let's hope it's short, sweet, and sharp, and then we continue on a broader trend upwards, which is what my suspicion is.